Hello aspirants and welcome again to Legacy IAS Academy. In this lecture, we will be discussing about the big beautiful bill and how and why Elon Musk is actually threatening to launch a political party, yes, that is America Party, if the Trump's big beautiful bill actually passes. So we'll understand why this feud all about, because there was a huge amount of support from Elon Musk to Donald Trump in his election campaign, and initially the things were quite good, so much so that Elon Musk was also made the head of the Department of Government Efficiency. But then what happened? Why this downfall between the two? That is one thing. Secondly, what is this big beautiful bill that we are talking about, and what is this America Party which Elon Musk is talking about? What ramifications will it have? This and much more is what we are going to see now. So first things first, what is the big beautiful bill that is being talked about? So basically it is a bill which is being backed by the Republicans. So what is this concept of Republicans? The USA is basically divided into two kinds of perspectives. One is the Democrats and the other is the Republicans. Now, Democrats and Republicans are at the loggerheads all the time. Donald Trump is a Republican candidate, right? So he has the backing of the Republicans for this particular bill. Now, this particular bill, what is it all about? It is there for tax cuts. So this one big beautiful bill talks about is probably going to, now no one knows what it is because it is yet to be, no one knows, as in the rules exactly are not clear, but the entire concept and perspective is clear that it will talk about tax cuts and spending related information or spending related perspective and guidelines would be there. So there are two things that is going to be talked about. One is the tax cut and second is the spending. Now this is being supported by the Republicans and there is a huge chance that this bill will basically pass. Now, why is this bill being brought out? It is being brought out because we are presently in a post-COVID situation. What did COVID do? COVID sort of lowered the growth rate of the countries. Of course, so much so that it brought it into the negatives also. India started growing at a negative rate. So the COVID year was a negative growth rate year for India. But then resurrection has taken place. However, that is not completely true with respect to USA, because the last quarter USA saw a negative growth rate again. So this bill is aimed at boosting the post-COVID economic growth. How do you boost that? Through fiscal expansion. What is fiscal expansion? See, the fiscal policies can be either contractionary in nature or expansionary in nature. Expansionary in nature means the government is going to spend more and more. Contractionary means the government is to restrain itself from spending. So this is going to talk about fiscal expansion. And how is this fiscal expansion going to take place? Because with the help of two things. One, basically a tax cut. So since there is a tax cut, people will have more money in their hands, so more expenditure will happen. The second thing is the spending of the government would probably increase in order to prime up the economy post-COVID. Now, this is the concept of this bill. Now, why it is being criticized? Of course, we know that Elon Musk criticizes it and he is even threatening because of it. But what is this criticism all about? This criticism stems for the potentiality of this particular bill to lead to inflation, may have inflation impact. How? What is inflation? It's a general rise in the price levels of a basket of goods and services. When more money is in the hands of the people, when the government is spending more money, that means more money is in the market, as a result of which the prices will go up. So this can be inflationary in nature, and at the same time it is going to increase the national debt. How is it going to increase the national debt? Simply because when the government has a revenue and the government has the expenditure. Now when the government wants to spend more, of course it would try to increase the revenue, but only up to a certain limit. But even with the limited revenue, you want to spend more. Let's say the revenue was 100 and the government was initially spending 102. So the deficit is 2. But if with the same revenue the government spends more, so the deficit will be more. Now this deficit needs to be basically financed. Where is this going to be financed? This is going to be financed by taking loans. That means by taking debt. So this is also going to inflate the debt of the government of USA, as a result of which it is being criticized. Now, what is the controversy? What is the controversy over here? Let's understand that, and why this basically the falling apart of Elon Musk and Trump has taken place. Now basically this bill which is going to come and may become an act, it is claimed that it is going to reverse the savings that were achieved through the efforts of Doji. You can pronounce it as Doji. It was a Doji coin, also a cryptocurrency, but it's not related to that right now. This Doji, basically DOGE, is nothing but Department of Government Efficiency. So when Trump came in power, there was a department that was established, Department of Government Efficiency, whose work or whose task was to create more efficiency in the government spending, and it tried to do that. Elon Musk was the head of that, and they had some savings which was made because of cost-cutting initiatives, more efficiency, so on and so forth. Now the argument here by Elon Musk and others who are criticizing the bill is that whatever efficiency was made, whatever savings were made, will now be spent when this bill comes in. So it will be a completely helpless task, and going forward it is going to further raise the debt of the United States of America. At the same time, one more issue here is the contradiction that it has created with respect to the Republican promise. Now, before the election campaign, the political parties, the representatives do make certain promises. Now, the promises that were made by the Republicans or to the people during the rallies was that the government spending would be reduced. However, it is now completely doing the opposite by increasing the government spending by bringing in this bill. Right, so this is the controversy that is all about. Now, what is Elon Musk's stance over here? His stance is, see, Donald Trump has called this bill as big, beautiful bill. On the contrary, Elon Musk calls it as utterly insane and destructive. It is insane, means the decision has been made in insanity. It's a stupid or a completely crazy decision to do that, and it is destructive in nature. It's going to destroy things. It is going to increase the debt. National debt concerns are being raised. At the same time, betrayal of fiscal conservatism. Another concept, another term or a phrase, fiscal conservatism. Fiscal conservatism is akin to basically fiscal contraction. You are being conservative with respect to fiscal expenditure. That means you are trying to spend less in order to have less fiscal deficit. That is what fiscal conservatism is, which is being betrayed, which will get betrayed when the bill passes, and the intention to betray it is already there. At the same time, basically Musk's departure from Trump's inner circle. What does this mean? This means that initially when the government was formed, Elon Musk was one of the inner circle men. Inner circle men means the government will have a circle, but there would be a circle of important ministers, important persons, which is the inner circle, and Elon Musk was earlier a part of it, specifically when he was heading the Department of Government Efficiency, but he is no longer a part of the inner circle. Rather, he is at a loggerhead with the present President Donald Trump. So what is the threat that he is putting? He is putting a political threat, saying that I will launch a new political outfit known as the America Party if the bill passes. So what will be the agenda or the motive or the objective of this party is basically it will challenge the incumbent. The present Republicans will be challenged who backed the bill. Right. Now, Elon Musk, remember, he himself backed a Republican. But now what is happening is whichever Republican is going to back the bill, he is going to challenge those Republicans as well and come up with his own political party outfit. And he is going to represent the tech entrepreneur driven activism in USA politics. Will it hold any ground? Will it have any power? Absolutely yes, because talking about tech entrepreneurs, basically in the services sector, the rich people, the wealthy people, see, even the political parties need funding and the business person's support is always there. So here the wealth is going to be garnered and cornered over here in favor of Elon Musk. A lot of people may stand with him, he himself being a wealthy businessman. At the same time, even Trump is also a business tycoon actually, who is presently the president of United States. So it will be no new thing for USA to have a president who has already been a business tycoon or a purely capitalist person. Now what are the implications of this? The implications would be the rise of alternative political movement. Another perspective will be given to here, another movement, other agendas, more discussion. At the same time, fragmentation within the government may happen. The Republicans themselves may fragment, because some of the Republicans would not, of course, are not wanting to support this bill, but some of the Republicans are still supporting. So we know that in USA the division was between the Democrats and the Republicans, but now this will lead to further breakdown of the Republicans themselves into two different groups. At the same time, influence of billionaire activism in democratic institutions. Now it's again not a new thing, because here you are already talking about a tycoon, so intervention was there. Now more and more intervention, because another tycoon is basically entering over here, so more intervention of the billionaires. Right now, Musk, the major downfall has happened. So how the downfall has happened, from where to where? So initially he was a major supporter, he was a major donor, millions of dollars were donated. He was then made, when you fund the political party, of course you get certain benefits out of it. So the benefit that he got was being made the head of the Department of Government Efficiency, but then whatever savings they might have done will now be nullified, and presently he is completely against the bill that Trump wants to get passed. So this is what the present situation is. If this bill passes, which probably it will, unless and until more fragmentation of the Republicans happen, then we may see a rise of another political party in the United States of America. Thank you.